Just coming. So, here I am. I've got another bag of gaming stuff to unbag. And yes, I've been to a convention. So, it is Sunday, the 25th of February, and I'm in the reading Nook with a nice hot cup of tea. And I have returned with a bag weighing several pounds, full of gaming goodness, of things I want to play and review. So let's take a look at what I got. But first, yesterday I was at Dudley Bug Ball, which takes place toward the end of February every year in the West Midlands town of Dudley. It's about an hour's bus ride from the city centre of Birmingham, and takes place in the Station Hotel, which is obviously in Dudley, is at the bottom of a hill. Notable for two things. First off, it is notable as the most haunted hotel in the country, I believe, and for being opposite the entrance to Dudley Zoo, which is built on top of a quite a steep hill in the remains of Dudley Castle. So it's actually opposite the entrance, and the entrance itself is a essentially it's a protected structure. Dates from the 50s. It's about the only, I think it's the only protected zoo entrance structure in the country. So you can't do anything against it. You can't redesign it or to make architectural changes to it. So yeah, trivia there. You're more interested in what's in the bag. But anyway, I had a great time at Dudley Bug Ball, run by Steve Turner of Britannia Games, and also his other company GMS. So there's his big range of games on sale, and I picked some up from him. And I got to play in a short game of Shadow of the Demon Lord, which was a lot of fun, and try some board games. I played Scout from Oink Games, which I thoroughly recommend as a little card game, and finally got to play Quacks of Quacklingburg, which is a bag pulling push your luck game of manufacturing potions, with some interesting little wrinkles and ways of scoring that makes it a lot of fun. So I had a good day. I met up with friends, chatted with people, caught up with them, as you do at conventions, and it was great. I mean, that's one of the joys of going to a convention these days. It is meeting friends that you know from up and down the country, that you've gamed with, that you just meet at conventions, and the chance to sort of like run into and meet new people. I was talking to Adrian from Dungeons and Dyslexia, which is a YouTube channel devoted to role-playing and dyslexia. I haven't had a chance to look at it myself because I've been busy with some editing, but I do want to go and have a look at it. We had a nice chat, and he's said hello on one of the comments on my videos, and I'm going to message him back. So it was really nice to meet him, and he actually is a subscriber, which is nice. I don't often get to meet my subscribers, but he was appreciative, and and we would talk about the making of videos and the value and so on, and yeah, it was generally just a good day of catching up with people that don't normally see on a day-to-day basis, but from a convention to convention basis. So anyway, I would recommend going. It's a small event, but it is friendly, and it's focused on play and chat and so on. So anyway, what's in the bag, you ask? So let's get the big thing out of the way, and that is, because it's quite big, that's a copy of Super Dungeon Explore from Cool Minis or Not. Quite an early board game from them, sort of playing with dungeon exploring with like sort of Super Chibi style miniatures. Picked that up from sort of like the equivalent of the sort of like the bring and buy organizer who's getting rid of some stuff, mostly due to his space issues and murmurings from his wife about everything he had. And then also with that, it was some expansions from the Kickstarter. Now, this is together altogether the most expensive thing I've purchased. So yeah, so you've got like character boxes like that, and that, and then expansions. Just getting out the bag. We have the Rock Top Gang and the Fireflow Denizens. So lots of potential gaming there. If I can bring that to the table, give it a good review. But we'll see, because you know, how many things have I got to review? Probably too many. As murmurings from my partner might have it. But we also have Holler, an Appalachian Apocalypse. This is from Pinnacle Entertainment Group, so it's for Savage Worlds. It's a horror setting set in Appalachia, kind of like an alternative to Old Gods from Appalachia from Monty Cook Games. I picked that up. That's not actually quite inexpensive as it goes. Similarly, for the screen, basically I picked up the screen, you know, basically because it's something interesting to review, and you've got a couple of adventures in there which you can run using with this. And then Freya's Tears, Wandering Through Norse, Svilland Adventure, levels 1 to 20. This is an adventure for the Svilland, which is the Norse Viking role-playing setting, compatible with Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. Not quite sure who's compatible because it doesn't clearly say. It's got their logo on the front. Then also from the same company, Svilland campaign setting, South Sea region guide for Svilland. So this kind of like fills out the kind of content that I have for Svilland for when I come to review it, when I come to... So actually, first things I've got to do is go and find the original books I've got and put these all together so I can work my way through them. Picked up some old 3rd edition content, so Fiendish Codex, Hordes of the Abyss. I really wasn't going to go in to buy anything like this, but £8 a book. So this is Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition, which is the Coast. When did this come out? Just have a look. I can't see. At 2006. So what else have we got? Just flipping through. Tome of Magic, similarly £8, wasn't that desperately fussed about, but at that price I went, no reason why I shouldn't. So yeah, I do remember, that's Pact, Shadow and True Name Magic. Then we've got Weapons of Legacy, Powerful Items for your character or campaign. Similarly, this is one I haven't actually come across before, but it'll be interesting source material basically to plumb and look for something like adapt to your game. Then Traveller Supplement, Reign of Discordia, Interstellar Adventure in the Ruins of Empire. For Traveller, this would be for Mongoose's version of Traveller, but edition 1. It's done from Brilliant Deviant publishers through the Flaming Cobra content program that Mongoose ran. I don't know whether it's still going. We have Dungeons and Dragons Open Grave, Secrets of the Undead for 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons. I think there were some great supplements for 4th edition. There are people out there who are radical adherents of 4th edition Dungeons and Dragons as a great game, as a great version of Dungeons and Dragons. I'm not one of them. My limited experience of it let me go, okay, it's not showing that it's a bad game, but rather that it's a great Dungeons and Dragons skirmish battle game more than anything. And you can have some great gameplay, I'm sure. I absolutely loathed the way they designed their scenarios and so on, which broke scenes down into essentially into types of combat scenes, role-playing skill scenes that really didn't allow for the flow back and forth of adventure, and really kind of compartmentalized scenes, which meant that it was sort of like if you ran from one scene to the next, it was sort of like, well, you were off in a different. It really felt as if they were trying to keep them separate. So anyway, picked that up, got an interesting look at. Let's see what else. Oh, another Sphereland thing. That's an actual scenario. And again, let's say Rainy Discord. That was £3. So yes, why not pick that up? Again, that was £8. And then this big chunky book is Harn World Overview of the Harn Isles 40th Anniversary Edition. Now, Harn has a very long-running tradition in the hobby. It's been around for 40 years. The author died 2 or 3 years ago, sadly, but Columbia Games has continued to support it, bringing out this new edition of the rules, but in an accessible format in one book. It's done it in previous books. It always used to do that sort of like as folders and kind of inserts for a big kind of arch lever file, that sort of thing. But here is a book. This kind of is easier to handle and brings everything together. Well, not everything together, because you can't bring everything together for Harn, but brings a lot of the material into one place for easy access and reference. So, and then we come to the very last thing that I did pick up, and which was, I paid £30, and this is a copy of Lords of Creation from the Avalon Hill Game Company, published 1982, I think, no, 1983. Basically the ultimate role-playing game of science fantasy, science fiction and hard adventure. Lovely, nice edition box set. Okay, it's split there, right? That is the only thing wrong with it, because you open up and the book's in lovely condition. And you've got dice. I don't know whether they're the original dice, and I'd have to check to see whether this is everything you've got in the box. But even so, at a fantastic, terrific price of that, I couldn't not pick it up, and that'll be something that I will want to review fairly soon. And again, it's a fairly slim thing which to review. So yeah, role-playing adventure game of travel through time and space, published it as a bookcase game, because that's what Avalon Hill did. It published games in a bookcase format, i.e. this was designed to sit on your bookcase like that, and all their board games would have been published as in that format back in the late 70s and early 80s. So yeah, lots of interesting things here to look and review and talk about, and that will be forthcoming in the relatively near, well, okay, for me, relatively near future, for you, quite a bit of way into the future, because at this point I should tell you that I do actually have an awful lot of videos for unboxing in the Nook lined up for you for, in fact, the next year. I'll be doing other ones alongside them, but I have uploaded content for all the way up until the 1st of March 2025, and after I've done this video, I've got another 4 videos I want to do today to get those out the way into March 2025. So yes, lots of things for me to upload, lots of unboxing videos, and hopefully you will watch them and enjoy them. And if you've got the time, comment on them, which I really do appreciate. Thank you very much, and thank you again for watching. So anyway, I'm going to say, if you get a chance to go to Dudley Bug Ball, it is a little bit off the beaten track. Okay, not every convention is in a big city or that is easy to get to via public transport, but it's worth going to, I think, for the day and getting a couple of games in, because it's and also the other thing is, although a small event, it's dedicated to raising money for charity, for a good cause, and that's worth it. Essentially, this is what I actually won in the charity auction. It was a blind auction. There was a couple of really nice things in the auction, but they had quite high minimum prices. For example, limited edition books for Chivalry and Sorcery, the sort of like the leather-bound ones, that sort of thing. And I went, well, I don't need those. I've got the core books already. but I do want to have a look at Harnwood, and this was my choice, and I was fortunate enough to win and happy enough to donate to a good cause in the process. I didn't pay full price, but all the money went to charity, and that's a really good thing. And the other thing to say about that, it's really generous of Steve Turner and his wife Sue to organise the event and organise all of the donations to the event and the auction, which raised the money. Normally they have they've had a raffle in the past, and I've always done quite well in that raffle. I've won several things, but I don't mind contributing, because hey, I did walk away with this book, which I wanted to have a look at, and there aren't very many of these in the country at the moment. But they raised sort of like £500 towards a charity for young carers, which is great. So yeah, I mean that's the other great thing about sort of like the small to mid-sized conventions, that they have the capacity, because they're not necessarily businesses as such. They can work to donate quite a lot of their money to charity and organise events. And of course, I've helped organise events myself, and sort of raise small amounts to be donated, and it all counts. But anyway, Dudley Bug Ball, worth going to, seeing what it's like, playing a couple of games, chatting with people, and just having a good day. Anyway, I rambled on enough as it is. So, thank you very much for watching another Unbagging in the Nook. If you've enjoyed this Unbagging in the Nook, then please do feel free to add comments or feedback down below. I do appreciate that. And if you want to be alerted to get more unboxings or indeed unbaggings in the Nook, where you will see me typically unbox a book or game or role-playing game, or in this case a stack of things that I brought back from a convention in a bag, all of which I will talk about to the best extent of my knowledge for roughly 10 minutes or so, all of course accompanied by a nice hot cup of tea. Then please do click on the subscribe button down below. Thanks again for watching. Thanks again for the organisers and traders who were at Dudley Bug Ball yesterday and today. I hope everyone had a good time. I will be back again tomorrow with another unboxing in the Nook. Thanks again for watching. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.